1989 Ford Sierra. This is a 2.9 GLS 4x4. As you can see, it's finished in white over grey. Start by having a look at the bodywork. If we look down this driver's side, you'll see it's nice and straight all the way down there. It's not full of ripples or filler or anything like that. It has the issue where it's been parked in a funny place for a long time, so it's got a couple of little sort of rust blebs coming through on the panels on the driver's side. You'll see them sort of here and there. The owner thinks it was when he bought the car it was under a tree, but obviously we can't verify that, but it's here and there. It seems to only be on the driver's side. If we go around the passenger side, I mean, the bonnet's lovely and clean, and then there's none of them on the passenger side. Very strange. But yeah, so we'll start by having a look at the driver's side. Let's start on this driver's front wing. You've got a couple of rust blebs at the bottom of the panel there. Arch itself is nice and sharp all the way around, with the exception of this little rust bleb there. It's on genuine Ford lattice wheels with 4 good tyres all round. They're quite valuable in themselves now. Coming along this driver's side, you can have a look along the sill. Again, nice and clean on there. Got a little bit of rust in the centre section. If you can have a look underneath that. Floor pan looks to be nice and tidy. Coming down the driver's door, got some marks on the leading edge of the wing mirror there. A couple of the rust blebs on the A-pillar. A couple more up the top there. You've got a generally relatively clean. A couple of those little rust blebs and a bit of paint flake, but it's nice and solid all the way along. And then we've got the same problem on the roof in a couple of spots. Coming down this side again, they're sort of here, there and everywhere. You can see them there. I'm not going to point every single one out, but you can see them quite clearly. Got a little bit of rust coming through in the bottom of this arch here. The rest of the arch all nice and solid. Another good wheel and tyre. Coming round, it's got an aftermarket lock here, I'm assuming for the fuel filler cap. Coming round onto the back, rear bumper sits nice and straight. Both tail lights are nice and clear and sort of crack free, no moisture or anything like that in those. It's had some trim along here at some point, so there's 2 holes that one filled there. On the spoilers, all good. It's not cracked or it's had the boot lifted up by it or anything like that. I've got a little chip in the paint on the corner just there. Around the bottom of the screen here, all the way around the screen, it's nice and tidy. There's no rust coming through or anything like that. Have a look underneath from there as well. And then looking at the passenger side, lovely and straight, again, not full of filler. This side doesn't have that problem. Arches are lovely and sharp. Another good wheel and tyre. All nice and clean. Got a little bit of paint flake where the plastic trim meets the bodywork there on the rear door. See the sill all the way along there. It's almost like both 2 sides of the cars have been parked in 2 different postcodes. Nice and clean on the passenger door, with the exception you've got a little mark just on the body line there. A tiny little dent on it. You can just see it there. And some scrapes on the wing mirror. Little stone chip. Top of the bottom of the A-pillar, if you like. Nice and sharp on that arch all the way around. Another good wheel and tyre. A-pillar, we've got a stone chip at the bottom, which I've just shown you. Another one there. Other than that, all good. Coming round on the front, got some stone chips just on this rear corner, which have rusted up a little bit there. Around the indicator does have a little crack in as well at the bottom there, you can see that. Headlight on that side's all nice and tidy. Same with this one, this headlight's good. We've got the same problem with those little chips. On that side, lower half of the bumper, that's all nice and tidy. Bonnet's lovely and straight. We've got one little, in fact that's polish or dirt or something, ignore that. One little stone chip at the top there, but that's it. No ripples or dents or anything in the bonnet. Moving into the interior, nice and clean. Now the problem with this cloth is it always looks dirty on the camera, but it is nice and clean. Doesn't look like there's any ingrained dirt. The stitching where the bolster meets the centre section has come away on the driver's seat. The carpet set's all nice and tidy. It's not covered in ingrained dirt or anything like that. The mat for your heel, that's all good. Top of the dash is good. Obviously they normally crack, whereas that's all nice and tidy. All good around the steering wheel. This one shows 94,838 miles. If you check the description, we'll detail what we know as far as sort of service history and things like that go. Electric windows in the front, original Ford stereo, not been messed with or anything like that. Around in the back, getting nice and tidy on the door card. The rear bench is lovely and clean, no real signs of any wear on there at all, with the exception of we've got one little mark just there. I haven't been particularly picky there. Backs of the seats are good, they've not been sort of kicked or abused. Headlining has a couple of marks on it. Overall, it's not sort of sagging down or anything like that. Coming in the boot. Normally on these things the rams fail so they drop down, but actually that's really good. Underside of the boot lid, it's all nice and tidy. Nice and clean in here. Obviously it's dark so you can't see a whole lot. Parcel shelf hasn't been cut for any speakers or anything like that. All good on that rear passenger side. Same story on the seats, nice and tidy. Carpet and everything, setting everything nice and clean. It's parked outside for a couple of days with us here. No sign of any leaks coming through the sunroof or channels or gutters or anything like that. There's no sort of moisture coming in here. This side of the dash, that's all nice and tidy. Someone has put an XR 4x4 sticker on there, but you can just peel that off. And then passenger seat, nice and clean and tidy, no real signs of any wear on that, generally pretty good. And then under the bonnet, we've got that 2.9 litre engine, manual gearbox, 4-wheel drive, inner wings, and around the strut tops are lovely and clean as you can see. On both sides, slam panel and everything's all nice and tidy. Get it started up. Keys would help the job. There you go. Like I say, it's been with us a few days now. Always seems to start on the button. Taking over nice and happy. We'll give it a little rev. It is cold, so I'm not going to bounce it off a rev limiter or anything like that. Decent noise, nothing nasty flying out the back. So there you have it. Ford Sierra 2.9 GLS 4x4. Any questions, please get in touch. Thank you.